Hi, welcome once again to Your Yoga Life with Viviane Wolf. This is the yoga group, the Facebook group for people who want to go deeper into their yoga practice, taking it off of the mat as well as deepening their practice on the mat. So this week we are talking about aligning our values through the use of the yamas, or the moral restraints. And yesterday we talked about ahimsa, non-violence. And so today we're going to move into the second yama, which is truthfulness, or satya, and how we move fully into truthfulness without violating ahimsa. That's the big one right there. You should see my desk right now. It is covered in books and scribbles and things like that. There is so much to unpack here with each one of these yamas, but I'm just going to try to take a couple of minutes and just dig into the very surface of it, give you a little bit to think about, a little bit to unpack on your own, and then at the end I'll give you some resources so that you can go deeper. So Satya, truthfulness, it's the second yama, and in the Yoga Sutras, the sutra is, for those grounded in truthfulness, every action and its consequences are imbued in truth. And so it's been my experience that when people begin to work in Satya and start to align with Satya, there's this interesting kind of pendulum effect, this back and forth that happens, where they feel like they have to be brutally honest about everything and everyone. So for example, whenever a friend walks in and they're wearing a pair of pants that are not flattering, they feel the need to be truthful and point that out. And in my opinion, that is not staying in alignment with ahimsa. And so there is a level of compassion that must come with our truth. That being said, we can dig into ourselves and see where we are being truthful with ourselves and where we are not. And so just real quick, I want to talk about being honest about our limitations. And this is what I'm talking about, our physical limitations. And when I say being honest about it, I mean both sides of the spectrum. Again, I really like to think about things not in black and white, but as a scale. A little nerd alert here. I consider myself a gray Jedi. I'm not a Sith, and I'm not a Jedi per se. I'm somewhere in the middle. And so that's kind of how I kind of think of everything being kind of the same way. So when you're being honest about your limitations or your lack of limitations, finding that place where you're really coming to the true edge of your capabilities whenever you're trying to improve your body, that's where we're trying to find our truth without backing off too early or without overdoing it and stressing ourselves out. So again, this comes back into what I was talking about yesterday with ahimsa. You want to be really honest with yourself. Am I pushing myself as hard as I could to find that true edge of capability? Or am I selling myself short because I'm afraid of injuring myself, or I'm afraid of what might happen if I create change in my body? And on the other end of that, am I going over the edge of capability every time? And am I damaging my body? Am I being violent to my body in an effort to create change too quickly? So finding that place in our body that is that leading edge of capability, that's where we want to truly be physically. So if you have any questions about that, please drop it below. I'm really, I would be pleased to answer any questions that you might have. Another way that you can start to move into alignment with Satya is in your mind. And that's where we start to dig into the whole idea that we are not our thoughts, that the thoughts and emotions that cloud our mind comes from our ego, and our ego is proven to lie to us. We are not our thoughts. We are not our emotions, but the ego will tell you that you are. That will tell you, let me find this quote I love so much. Our bodies, our minds will start to tell us all kinds of things, especially about our bodies. When we're trying to find that true edge of capability in our body, our mind will start to come up with all these different things that will keep us away from that edge or will blow us past that edge. This is from Rolf Gates in Meditations from the Mat. He says that just as we may strive on the mat for more than our bodies are ready for, we may also take the opposite tack and play small. We back off and stay in the comfort zone, all our excuses at the ready. I am not built like that. That's great for them, but not for me. I have bad balance, bad knees, bad eyesight. It's the wrong kind of mat. It's too hot. It's too cold. I'm too young. I'm too old. All of these excuses will come into our mind when we start to challenge ourselves to be the best person that we can be. We have to, in alignment with Satya, realize that that is not the truth, that these are not in alignment with what is truly ourselves. That's a lot to unpack, huh? So think about that. You might journal about that, guy. So in connection with that, connecting with your inner truth, really truly seeing yourself as you truly are, that is your soul. That is your purpose in life. That is what's going to end your suffering and create a connection with the universe, is being totally immersed in your own truth. That being said, and being aware of that connection. So whenever we're living our life and we're trying to align with Satya, again, like I said, sometimes people kind of swing the pendulum into a uncompassionate way. And so you should start looking at places where you can be compassionately honest in your communications, the way that you interact with the people around you, the way that you interact with coworkers, with family members, with social media, with clients, employees, doctors, all of that. Where can you be more authentically, truthfully you in a compassionate and honest way? So I have a long time ago, I had a friend, well, I had a coworker, and she was having a lot of communication problems with her husband. And so they got into an argument about something completely that was an honest issue, and they needed to work it out, and they got into an argument. They did not resolve it. And so her feelings were that she needed to do something to rebel against him. And so she went and spent a lot of money and ran up their credit card debt, and then it hid the things that she bought in an effort to not only get back at him, but also to keep that truth from him. And it really caused her a lot of suffering, a lot of pain and anxiety. They, of course, eventually the husband found out, and it all came to a head, and they all, they had another big argument that could have been avoided if they had just worked things out fully in their first argument by being truthful with each other. And I'm not sure if that was a helpful anecdote, but that's me, and that's what I do. That's what it makes me think of. So anyway, a pose to help you embody Satya. So you can join me on the mat, or just, again, in a space that works for you. So we're going to start at the front of our space, and hopefully we're going to come into focus. How about if I come over here? Ah, focus, yay. Okay, so we're going to come into an easy mountain pose here. This time we're going to take our hands in front of us, interlace our fingers except our pointer finger and our thumb. From here, we're going to slide our right toes back, coming into a crescent lunge. right? And then from here, and focus. Yes, good. So into a crescent lunge, our fingers are intertwined except our pointer finger and our thumb finger, and we shoot it out, gazing at truth. So coming deep into this lunge in whatever way feels comfortable for you. Breathing here, keeping the hips facing forward, keeping the shoulders facing forward, keeping the gaze facing forward. Breathe deep here. One more breath, deep breath in. Easy breath out. Good. We're going to bend that back knee and rock forward, coming back into our mountain pose. And now I'm going to turn around just so I can do the other side. We're going to lift the left heel up, slide the left toes back, coming again into this crescent lunge here, pressing our fingers out and away from us, reversing our intertwining here so that it might feel a little strange for us. Again, shooting the heel back as we shoot the hips forward and eyes gaze forward, coming deep into this crescent lunge, breathing deep here. Good. One more breath in and let it go. We bend that back knee, rock our weight forward, coming back into our mountain. Releasing the hands, letting them come to the sides. Good job. So we have gone through non-harming and we have gone through truthfulness. And tomorrow we will proceed on to our next yama. And I don't know if you have noticed, but in each one of these, you will notice that there is the concept of letting go of your humility, letting go of good results as well as bad results, and just living truthfully in the moment, letting go of anger and frustration so that you can live more peacefully, compassionately. And this is something that I spoke about last month called Vairagya, which is non-reaction. So learning to let go, let go, let go, let go. I can never say it enough. Let go. I hope you have an amazing, amazing, amazing day. And please post below your thoughts on Satya, on truthfulness, maybe an anecdote in which it got you into trouble or maybe saved your bacon for you. I would love to hear it. And until tomorrow, namaste.